Hello everybody, KD316 here, and I just finished watching both the SRX race at Stafford and the All-Star Race at Texas. And here's what I thought about it. First of all, a thing for both races, I think that I really like shorter races for sure. That's why you've seen post-race F1 reactions, because those races are 2.5 hours long. It's tough to sit through a 4-hour NASCAR race. So people are gonna not want shorter races, but I do really like shorter races. Maybe NASCAR can do a little bit more of those. You know, of course still keep the Daytona 500 and stuff, but if they can get races to around 2 hours, I would definitely watch way more the full races. And so first, talking about the SRX, I liked it. I thought it was alright. It was solid, but it wasn't what I hoped and expected it to be, that's for sure. I thought this whole thing was, the way they were marketing it and fans were treating it were like, oh, NASCAR better watch out, the SRX is gonna be awesome. It was like supposed to be this anti-NASCAR thing, fixing everything wrong with NASCAR. It was gonna be fast, high horsepower cars, there weren't gonna be stages, everything that was wrong with NASCAR is gonna be reversed with the SRX. But that was not the case. The cars, well, immediately starting, it seemed like the cars weren't that fast, which makes sense. These are older guys. They're not here to get into big wrecks, you know. Makes sense to be slower, and that was fine, but the marketing made it seem like these were going to be faster, high horsepower. That wasn't the case. And during the main race, they throw out these just entertainment cautions. They're not even hiding it as debris cautions or fake cautions or anything like that. They're like, nope, the field got too spread out, we are going to throw a caution. And that was really surprising. I thought, this is the anti-NASCAR fixing everything wrong. This is going to be pure racing, and they go and throw out a caution like that. That was that was wild. But not to stay too negative, I did like how the car bodies looked. Loved the shape and design of it. I wasn't a big fan of the paint schemes. I thought the paint schemes made it look kind of like toy cars, but the car bodies look sick. And I loved the driver lineup. Could easily cheer for any of those guys. I really especially liked that Francis Jr. was in there. I didn't know who he was before this, but seeing that he was a young guy, up and coming, that was really awesome to see. And I think it's really cool that we have these made legends, and we also have a guy that could one day become a legend potentially. And then of course the winner, Colby, a local short track hero. I think that's really awesome. So the driver lineup, you could cheer for any of those guys. That was really cool. The racing itself left a lot to be desired. Like I said, the cars looked slow and not a lot of passing. Of course, there was that sick 3-wide pass, but other than that, not much happening. And there was the pass at the end of the second race. But then after those cool passes, that one cool 3-wide pass, the field kind of got just spread out. And really thinking about it more, I think that is the nature of a short track series with cars that are exactly the same. They're all going to have tire wear that are very similar, and they're all going to, have similar progression of lap times. And so what ends up happening is, once the shuffle is finished in those opening laps, everyone's just pretty much going to stay in their place. They all have their own pace, and their cars are all the same, so you're not actually going to get much passing. And in a short track, a lot harder to pass than somewhere like Homestead, Miami, where there's multiple lanes. But it was still a fun atmosphere, fun environment. CBS, it was their first time doing a car race in a long time, so not too upset about their production value. I do wish they turned the crowd noise up during the races, though. You saw a packed crowd there, but you hardly heard them, and they were definitely cheering. So CBS, turn up the crowd next time. Overall, though, really can't get too upset about it. It's just a fun thing to do, and it does make me want to go out to my local short track and see some of the local races there, because getting those vibes there, seeing the fun of it, yeah, made me want to go out, go check it out. Hopefully I can do that one day. Just doing some editing right now. Forgot to mention, so good to hear Alan Bestwick back. He's had so much iconic NASCAR calls. Even as a new NASCAR fan, I've heard a lot of his classic calls, and his voice is so good. So that was a huge plus. So good to have Alan back. Moving on to the All-Star Race. Since I recorded these, couldn't have time to watch them live, I just watched them back to back. And watching SRX beforehand actually made the All-Star Race probably better for me, because right when I flipped the channel, man, right after seeing SRX, seeing these NASCAR stock cars, their paint schemes are beautiful, gorgeous, love the car bodies, that was awesome. It made them look great. And even though they're only at 550 horsepower, they looked so much faster in comparison to the SRX cars. So I really was engaged. I was like, whoa, these cars are going so fast. And they were side by side a lot more during this race at Texas. I mean, the traction compound did its job. It brought side by side racing. And it really, watching SRX and the All-Star Race side by side really made me appreciate the 1.5 mile tracks a lot more. I know everyone wants to get rid of them, but whenever I hear that, it hurts me a little bit. I enjoy the 1.5 miles, and I hope NASCAR doesn't become a series of just short tracks and road courses. We need the 1.5 miles there. They put on a good show. When the cars are good, they put on a good show. You can get some really good side-by-side racing and passes. It can be a lot of fun, and that's what the All-Star Race was. It made Texas exciting and fun because of the short format, because you got a lot of restarts, and that pass Kyle Larson made, that 3-wide racing with Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, and Kyle Larson. So fun to see moving through the track. And it was a really fun race side by side. I will say though, the inversion format was kind of disengaging. It made the different rounds, it made me not care about them as much because they were going to be inverted, and it was just too hard to continuously keep track of the averages. It was hard to, get a sense of where each driver was. So I don't know about that inversion format, but the last 30 laps to the 10-lap dash was a ton of fun. Obviously, the flaws of the Gen 6 car at 550 horsepower are there. Like we saw at the end, Brad Keselowski couldn't catch Kyle Larson once he got away. But because it was a short race, that was only for 2 laps at the end. And so it kept it fun, kept it exciting, kept people close, side by side, and overall just a really good time. And man, I would love more shorter races. Hendrick is looking so dominant this year, and it really shows what Chad Knaus is really doing. I think a lot of this is him, because he used to be able to make one car dominate, but now he can take all those tricks and apply it to all the cars, and I think we're seeing the results. I think while everyone on Hendrick's elevated, I think Chad is a big reason why all the cars suddenly have become very dominant, a very incredible team to beat. And so those are my thoughts on the 2 big races this weekend. Again, had a lot of criticisms for the SRX, but overall, still enjoyed it. Definitely going to watch next week because it's going to be at a dirt track, I believe, so that should be fun. And going to watch some more F1, hopefully watch some more NASCAR if I have time, and bring more post-race reactions. So stay tuned for that and let me know below what you thought of those 2 races. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching.